This is Ella Timble. My platform is to share instructional tips and inspiration. Welcome for another round of Power Up Your Instruction. For those who are new in this channel, please hit subscribe. Please subscribe for the latest instructional tips and inspirational journey of a global teacher, and thank you. In this webinar session entitled Designing Your Remote Classroom with Modular Distance Learning Modality, or the MDL, this webinar training is our way of building bridges to the new normal. In today's session, our goals are: first, identify the MDL areas of readiness. Second, design your remote learning using the MDL modality. Third, apply the 5 OLALA KISAC steps in designing remote classroom with MDL modality. Guided by these goals, let us start our session now. Hello everybody, so welcome to our webinar entitled Designing Your Remote Classroom with Modular Distance Learning Modality, or the MDL. So in today's session, I will try to immerse you into modules making. So we will create a module out of nothing. So today we will highlight the 5 OLALA components, or the 5 OLALA steps in creating your module. Just remember, we need to keep our module simple and creative. So there are 4 ways we can actually deliver distance learning, or there are 4 options for the learning modalities. So we have the online distance learning, we have the TV radio-based instruction, we have the modular distance learning, and we have the blended learning. So for today, we will highlight the modular distance learning as a modality in delivering instruction. But before we start creating our teacher-made module, let us first identify the areas of readiness. Are we prepared? Are we ready to create modules? Are we ready to use module as a means to deliver the instruction with our students? Well, let us check it. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas of readiness that you need to consider. So we have to look on the platform, the content, the teacher, the learner, and the parents. So I put plus on the content, the teacher, the learner, and the parents because these are all transactional issues that is easily fixed. However, on platform and support, that is something that you need to have. What are the platforms that you need to use in order to use the modular distance learning? So let us now dive in one at a time, okay? So let's start with the area of readiness when it comes to your platform and support. So there are 3 ways you can do the modular distance learning, either through a paper-based modules. So there are prints, you have to print it. There are some, I saw modules that are printed out, which is actually good. That is ready for distribution. And then you can also use the online modules wherein you provide e-copies to your students. And we have the vlog modules. I like these vlog modules, meaning you will create a video out of that module. So there are the 3 ways we can do modular distance learning, either through a paper-based, either through online, and either through vlog. However, you cannot have the online and the vlog modules if you don't have the paper-based. So you have to create really a module first before you can create an e-copy or a vlog module to your students. So the base of everything is you need to create a module. So that's the first step that you need to do. And another area of readiness we need to consider is the content. So the school has to complete and appropriate content. Probably in the first quarter, your school or you yourself should have a prepared modules already. I know some of you have used modules from the DepEd. That is actually good. And I know also some of you have resorted to using modules created by another teacher wherein they collaborate with one another. That's also good. And another way to do it is you create your own teacher-made modules. And also, your school should have available references, supplementary materials for the distribution for learners. So that's about content. Now let's consider about school and governance. So the school should provide you with the necessary training when it comes to modular distance learning. So they need to provide you with trainings, workshops, and webinars on how to create an effective modules that can be used or utilized and ready for use with your students. Another area of readiness that we need to consider is the parents. So the parents should express willingness to support you in using the modular distance learning, and they are available also to supervise their children when it comes to the modular distance learning. And of course, the student should have access either through a paper-based copy or through the e-copy or through the blog uh, modules. So they need to be accessible to students. And I want you to consider also some pointers that you need to keep in mind when it comes to the modular distance learning. So first, we have the modules that are handed down. So these modules are actually ready-made. It's right there. It's already created. I know the Department of Education has very supportive in creating these modules ready for distribution. And also there are some teachers who collaborate among each other. They try to create a Google Drive of all the modules from kinder to high school, which is actually good. I love those collaboration that they have conducted among each other. And the second pointer to consider is modules for content localization. So we need to localize the content of our modules because there are some modules created by another teachers, or there are some modules that are created by a foreign author. So we need to localize it based on the target population. So since you are in the Philippines, so you need to localize the content of your modules. You need to adapt it based on a target population. I like the way how we localize the content of our module. So there are different ways to do it. Either you translate it, you transcreate it, or you localize the approach when it comes to your module making. And another pointers to consider is modules and academic freedom. So remember, there are modules out there are available, created by another teacher, and there are some ready-made modules. So we need to practice our academic freedom, which means we are ready to revise it, to tweak it, and adjust it based on the needs of our students. That's about pointer number 3. Next, we have pointers number 4, modules and the doability. This is something important, the doability. Is the module practical? Is the module feasible? Is the module time bound? Can the student finish it? I know a lot of you have created modules or have seen modules that had a lots of activities. So come to think and ask yourself, are they doable? Can students finish it on time? Is it feasible and is it practical? So that's another pointers that you need to consider. And lastly, you have to consider that modules, lesson plan, and PowerPoint. So when you are creating a modules, you have to keep in mind that you can use your PowerPoint and your lesson plan in creating modules. You can copy paste it or you can capture it in case you have some diagram or pictures. So those old lesson plans, those PowerPoint slides, you can use that in creating a teacher-made modules. Try to put them together. So those are the 5 pointers that we need to consider when we are creating or using the modular distance learning. So right now, let us now dive into the 5 OLALA components or the 5 OLALA steps in creating our module. So this is an acronym that you won't even forget. OLALA. So what O stands for? O stands for the overview. So that's step 1. L stands for the learning objectives. A stands for activating prior knowledge. L stands for the lesson, and A stands for the assessment. So those are the 5 components or steps that you need to have in your module. So let's discuss the first one. So overview. So your module should have an introduction. It must include the topic and the content organization. And second, you should have the learning objectives. So student will be able to what? At the end of the module, student will be able to, so that's what. And when it comes to creating your objectives, it should be SMART, meaning it should be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. And third step is we need to activate prior knowledge. So, or you need to provide assessment. So, it's good that we need to activate prior knowledge just to check if students have acquired the necessary skills that they need to when they are doing the actual module. So, what are the prerequisite skills that they need to have in order to answer the modules that you will create? And fourth, the most important of all is the actual lesson or the discussion in your module. So you need to provide examples, guided practice, supplementary readings, and resources. So that's step number 4. And step number 5, you need to provide an assessment. So assessment must come in the form of either a writing activity, a self-test, a quiz, assignment, a reflection, and so on. So those are the 5 OLALA steps. So don't forget that, okay? OLALA steps. So right now, let us now discuss one at a time. So when we are creating an overview, we need to provide an introduction, what the topic is all about, and what are the content organization that you need to include in your module. So for example, I created this sentence frame. So you might say in the beginning of your module that this module is designed to help you blank. So the different parts of these modules are presented using the following topics, or this module is divided into blank parts. So this is the sentence frame I provided in order to start your module. So this is an example of modules I listed in the Department of Education website. So you can see there's an introductory message, and there's some content that has been discussed. So it's basically telling you what the module is all about, what they can see in the module. So that is overview, step number 1. Now, step number 2, the most important thing of all is we need to provide uh, learning objectives. What are the goals that you need to accomplish after your students will answer that module? So just keep in mind that to use the acronym SWOT and SMART. Okay, SWOT means student will be able to, what are the objectives? And your objective should be SMART, meaning it should be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. So for example, this is a module which I lifted from the Department of Education. So you can say student will be able to SWOT. So student, you outline the objectives. So here the objectives are use content clues, infer feelings, use simple present tense. So you are basically trying to outline the objectives. So that's step number 2. You need to create or identify the objectives that you need to accomplish. And that objectives must be SMART and SWOT. Okay? Now, not yet step 3. Now, in creating your objectives, it should be SMART, okay? So I use the Bloom's taxonomy in order to guide you of the different verbs that you can use in creating your objectives. And it is arranged from the lowest level to the highest level, okay? So from the lowest level, we have remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So those are the level of Bloom's taxonomy. And you can use the following process verb, okay? So look at the verbs that you can use in creating your objective. This is a very helpful words when you are creating a smart objectives, because I know sometimes we run out of verbs and we don't know what to put on our lesson plan or even in our module. So this verbs, this process verbs will help you outline your objectives, and it is arranged from the lowest level to the highest level of Bloom's taxonomy. So you might use this in your module making. And also, another way to use the SMART objective is we will use the DOK. So the DOK tells you how deep is the level of thinking in your students if you use the following verbs. So in level 1, there is a recall. In level 2, skill and concept. Level 3, strategic thinking. And level 4, extended thinking. So each level, you can see the verbs that you can use. You can see the verbs that you can use in creating your SMART objective. So the DOK and the Bloom's taxonomy are guide in order to outline or to write effective objectives in your module making. And the third step in the OLALA step is A, which is activating prior knowledge. So when we say activating prior knowledge, what are the prerequisite skills that students need in order to go to the next level? So in activating prior knowledge, or basically it's a pre-assessment, you can do a do now, a quiz, a questions, or a writing activity. So for example, this pre-assessment or activating prior knowledge I lifted in a DepEd's module, you can see what I know. So what the students need to know. So by answering the following question, this will measure the level of their present knowledge. Where are they? So where are they in their level of performance, so that you can address whether they are ready to answer your modules or they need what. Okay, so that is 3, activating prior knowledge. And step 4, the most important of all steps, is the lesson, because in step number 4 in the OLALA steps, you need to provide discussions, examples, guided practice, assignment, and as well as provide supplementary readings and resources. So for example, these activities I lifted from one of the DepEd's module. So you can see there's activity 1, activity 2, activity, and so on and so forth. So you need to provide how will your students understand the concept that you are trying to introduce and how they will accomplish those objectives. So it should be here on the lesson. You need to provide how will they understand the concept that you are presenting. So in the lesson, you put everything, how the approaches, the strategies, in order for your students to answer the modules. And the last step, which is step 5, is you need to provide assessment. So assessment must come in either writing activity, you need to provide self-test, a quiz, an assignment, or a reflection, and so on. So I have seen this example in DepEd's module. There is an assessment, so it's a multiple choice question. So students need to choose the right answer. There are different ways to assess students. Okay, this one is just basically a quiz or a self-test. I like you to use the writing activity and reflection when it comes to your assessment in your modules. So in my case, for example, I'm teaching mathematics. I have the following list of assessment. So sometimes I use error analysis, writing activity or quick write, reflection, self-test or quiz, compare and contrast, and test maker. So this is the assessment that I use when I am using the modular approach. Error analysis, how do you do error analysis? Where there are 2 problems or 2 scenarios, and the student will decide which one is correct, which one is right. When I use test maker is the students need to create their own example. Compare and contrast, basically they will use a Venn diagram, find the similarities, the differences, and what the common areas that they're having hit with. And then you can also provide self-test or a quiz or a reflection. So those are the assessment tools I use when it comes to my strategy. So once you have all the steps, you are now ready to start your classroom using the modular distance learning modality. So I have the following e-resources that you can use in your module making. So the following are from kinder to grade 10. So I want you to highlight the following. These are actually ready-made modules created by teachers using a collaborative effort, and they put it on the Google Drive. Here, another example. Also, we have the K-12 MELC by DepEd. We have also resources for preschools. And of course, the DepEd Commons. I want you to use this also. Since I'm a math teacher, I have these resources. I use www.jmath.org. And also, I have the following web-based tools that you can use in your class. If you are a math teacher, you can use deltamath.com, and you can go here www.slideshare.net. There's a compilation of a lots of PowerPoint presentation from mathematics, science, social studies, and so on. So you go here, there are ready-made PowerPoint slides that you can use, and you can also use FunBrain, BrainPop, and so on. Okay. So I want to acknowledge, of course, our sources, the debit order number 013, and also a module in English, quarter 1 to quarter 1, module 8 from the Department of Education. So right now, I will do a demonstration on how you will create a module, because I know you attended a lot of trainings about module making, but they just keep on saying about theory, but now we will do the application part. How do we write a teacher made modules out of nothing? Okay, so remember, I told you a while ago, you can use your old lesson plans. I don't want to use old lesson plan. You can use your stored lesson plan and your PowerPoint in order to create your modules. All you have to do is to copy paste it or take a snapshot when it's a diagram. But be sure when you take a picture or copy paste it, you need to acknowledge the sources. Where do you get those resources? Okay. So right now, let us start the demonstration in creating a module. So again, these are the 5 OLALA steps that I will follow. I will have the overview, I will state the learning objectives, I will have pre-assessment, I will have the discussion, and I will have the assessment. So these are the 5 OLALA steps that I need to implement when I create my modules. And of course, to make it easy for me, I have this graphic organizer in creating my modules. So I have the 5 OLALA steps. We have the O, the L, the A, the L, and the A, the 5 OLALA steps. O for overview, L for learning objectives, A for activating prior knowledge, L for lesson, A for assessment. And also you have to put the references. Where do you get those resources? So on overview, I have this a sentence frame, so that's easy for me to begin creating the module. So right now, like what I told you, you can use your lesson plans or PowerPoint when you are creating your module. So I will go to my lesson plan. Okay, so I will go to my lesson plan now. Let me try to minimize it. Oh, welcome back again. So today we will demonstrate how to create the teacher-made modules using the 5 OLALA steps. It is better that we create our own modules so that it will suit to the needs of our students. I know that it's good also that we have some collaborations with other teachers in creating modules. I know there are some teachers who shared modules to you. That is good. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's better that we have the experience and the skills in order to create our own modules. I know it's difficult to create the modules on your own because you're not a module writer. That's why, but we need to try in creating modules because at first it will be difficult. But as you go on in creating your own modules, it is like only that you are also creating a lesson plan. Okay, so right now let me show it to you on how to create the teacher-made modules using the 5 OLALA steps. So again, remember our 5 OLALA steps. We need to have the overview, we need to have the learning objectives, activating prior knowledge, the lesson content, and the assessment. So these are the 5 OLALA steps that you need to remember when you are creating your teacher-made modules. And in order for me to make the modules easier to create, I will use the template. So you can see on this template, on my left column, I have the acronym OLALA, or the 5 OLALA components in a teacher-made modules. And on the right sides are the actual uh, meaning of each acronym. So O for overview, L for learning objectives, A for activating prior knowledge, L for lesson, and A for assessment. And also you have to include the references. So like what I told you before, that if you have your lesson plans and PowerPoint slides, we will use that in creating your modules. So it is better to start with something. So the lesson plans that you created and the PowerPoints that you have will be used in creating our teacher-made modules. So right now, what I will do is I will show it to you the lesson plans that I stored in my USB. So here, I have these lesson plans in my USB. So I will click so you can see the following lesson plans that I have created. So I will use this when I am trying to create my modules. Or if you don't want to use your lesson plan, you can go to your PowerPoint slides. So I have also this PowerPoint slides, so you can see the following PowerPoint slides. So let me open one for you. So let me open this. So you can use your PowerPoint slides also when you are creating your lesson plan. So you can see my PowerPoint slide. It is also built in like a lesson plan because I have the topic, I have the objectives, the purpose of the lesson, and all the components of a lesson plan. And I have the discussions for each of the lesson that is contained in this PowerPoint. So what I will do now is I will go to my template. You can see this template, the 5 OLS steps. So what I will do is I will copy paste, or I will take a snapshot or take a picture and paste it here on my template. So for today, I will try to create modules about operations on polynomials. So what I will do, I will try to put the topics included in this module. So the following topics are included. So I have this one available already. So I will copy paste this and then I will paste that on my, oops. Okay, so what I will do now is I will try to copy paste that because the different parts of this module are presented using the following topics. So I will copy paste the content here, paste, change the color, sorry, okay, oops, okay. So for today, I will focus my modules on operation with polynomials. So I will go to the overview of this topic. So overview about polynomials. So this module is designed to help you blank. So what I will do now is I will go to my lesson plan. So I have a ready-made lesson plan already. Let me go to my lesson plan. So this is my lesson plan. So you can see the learning objectives, the vocabulary, the big ideas, the discussions, the assessment, the answers, and some additional assessment. So what I will do now is I will create the overview. So I will copy paste this portion of the module. So I copy paste, and then I will go to my template again. So this module is assigned to help you blank. So copy paste. So adjust the spacing. Okay, so there you have it. So I'm done with component one, which is the overview of the lesson. So you can see how simple I created the overview of the lesson. So that's O. Now let me go to L, which is the learning objectives for module number 2. So student will be able to, so I will go to my lesson plan. So sorry. So let me go to my lesson plan. This is my lesson plan, also another lesson plan. So maybe I will just copy paste this. Okay, copy paste the objectives, copy. Then I will go to my template again. So student will be able to paste, then change the color. Okay, so there you have it. Very simple, right? So I did the component L, which is learning objectives. And then I will go to activating prior knowledge. So activating prior knowledge is just like a pre-assessment. So I will go again to my lesson plan. So I will try to capture this idea, okay? So this one. So this one, I will not copy paste it, but I will use my camera. So if you don't have a camera, all you need to do is to download the program. You can go here, Smart Notebook, try to download it. You click it and this one will come out. So all you have to do is view screen capture toolbar and wait. There you have it. You will see these four icons. So I will choose this a square camera. So I will minimize. Then I will go to that portion wherein I want to take capture to capture with. So I will capture this portion. Oops, sorry. Let me redo it. Okay. I will capture again. Capture. So I will capture this. Okay. Then I will go to my template. So this one is activating prior knowledge or pre-assessments. I will paste it here. Okay, there you have it. It's right there. So try to adjust the spacing here. It should be fitting in your module. So maybe in activating prior knowledge, you will put some instruction. Maybe what are like terms? So as simple as that. So a simple question will do in activating prior knowledge. Or some of you might want to create a multiple choice question. Yes, you can do that also, but I want this way. I want only to ask question, what are like terms? So based on the following examples, students should explain what are like terms. So I'm able to do component A, which is activating prior knowledge. Now I will go to the lesson content, okay? So here on the lesson, it tells about how will you discuss the lesson or the things that you needed in order for your students to understand the concept on this particular module. So I will go to my lesson plan. Okay, minimized. Then I will capture this big ideas, okay? How to add and subtract polynomials, how to multiply polynomials, and so on. So let me capture first how to add polynomials. So I will capture these big ideas, okay? And then I will go to my template again. So lesson content, I will try to paste it. Okay, I try to adjust the space. Should be fitting in your template. Give a space. Then I will go back to my lesson plan again. So this time I will try to copy multiplying polynomials using 4 steps. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, and Step 4. So I will first capture Step 1 and 2. So there you have it. Multiplying polynomials. Okay, then let me go to my template again. Okay, adjust the space. Okay, then give a space again. Then I will copy paste the remaining steps. Step number 3 and 4. Okay, capture. Okay, there you have it. Capture it. Then go back again to your template. Okay, paste. Adjust the spacing. Should be fitting in your template. So as you can see, I'm able to create the component lesson content or the L lesson content. So I'm able to discuss how students should be going over on how to add and multiply polynomials. Then I will go now to my assessment. Okay, so I will go to my lesson plan again. So maybe I will try to capture this developing essential skills. So this is a multiple choice uh, type of assessment. So I will capture questions 1 to 9. Capture this. Okay. Then let me go back to my template again. So assessment, give a space, copy paste. Okay, adjust the space again. So as you can see, I'm able to do A, which is the assessment component of your module. Then also, when you copy paste or take a picture or a snapshot of any resources, you have to put your references. And also, try to put the answers. So let me go to my lesson plan and let me see if there are some answers. Yeah, there are some answers. So I want to copy paste this. Okay. So when you put the answer, be sure that it is for your own record only. So in the module, you should not put the answer or else student will not even try to do the exercises. So the answer should be included on a teacher made module version. So as you can see, I'm able to create the module in less than 20 minutes, right? So you can do that also. So I have the overview, I have the learning objectives, I have the activating prior knowledge, I have the lesson content, I have the assessment, the references, and the answer to your modules. So you can see how simple and how easy it is to create a module. Now, if you want to include some form of diagram or pictures because there are some visual learners, it's also applicable in this because all you have to do is go to insert and put some pictures, go to your computer. Let's see, I want to capture this. Uh, okay, so let me go to my template. Oops, not cooperating. Boom. Okay, let me go up. So I will try to insert this picture on my on my module. Okay, go up, more up. Okay, it's not taking so long. Okay, I want to put it here. Okay, so there you have it. I'm able to insert pictures or diagrams. So you can do that also because there are some visual learners who can learn much better if you put some diagram or pictures. So there you have it. I'm able to create the modules. Very simple, right? So the challenge now is actually for you to create your own modules. And the template is, you can create the template on your own, a very simple template. So there you have it. Successfully created the teacher made module. So right now, the challenge now for you is to create your own modules using the 5 OLALA steps. So you can use that template in order to create a well or a good version of your own teacher-made modules. So that concludes our training for today, and thank you very much for listening. And I hope that at the end of this training, you can create your own modules. So thank you and goodbye.